Hi people, how are you guys doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here and I am back again with another video that hopefully is going to be super interesting, and yeah, I will just get to put our heads together. If this is your very first time coming on here, you're highly welcome. Okay, so today's video is going to be from Douglas Murray and the Islamic immigrants. And if you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that this has been a very present topic up on the channel, and I'm just here for more like a revision and to share more pointer and just what more I think about the whole situation. Please do check my channel after this video. I'm going to put a link, but with that being said, people, let's just hop right into the video.
You don't have to go very far in Britain or the West in general at the moment to find people's unwillingness to assert the superiority of their values. But they know the superiority of their values because they live with the superiority of their values. I talk at a lot of campuses, and I was at one last night in London where a student got up and started protesting because I had said that an Islamist government was of itself a bad thing, which I think it is. I just said to this student, and it's not a hard question you'd have thought to ask, I just said, well, name me one Islamist government state that you would want to live in. And this is a serious question, ladies and gentlemen. It is also a personal question, and one which, if people were honest, they would admit is personal. As a gay man, there's not a country that's run by Muslims which I could live in. One of my best friends is in hiding again tonight, Diane Hirsi Ali, because of what she says, and she'd be killed if she went to any Muslim country. And I think that matters. And I think the way in which it affects our personal lives does matter, and we should not ignore it. We have the great blessing of living under this system, and we take it for granted, and we spit on it, and we can because we're living in that freedom. But I beg you, ladies and gentlemen, not to pretend that that means that we shouldn't assert the superiority of that system, because that is what it is. It is a superior system.
And a culture, if there is such a thing as a cohesive Western culture, which gave the 20th century 2 world wars, in which nearly 100 million people died, in which 6 million people were sent to death camps, by the Germans and many more by the Russians. A culture which can do that really must be superior if it can point a finger at others and claim its moral superiority.
Mr. Glass treated us to a textbook example of Western masochism. And I know some people in the hall enjoy that, because some people laughed and clapped when he cited Western civilization and epitomized it by what? World War, Nazism, Abu Ghraib, Guantanamo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that the West should be treated and regarded only as something which is treated by its lowest moments, and believe that all other cultures and all other civilizations should be treated only by their highest moments, you're already putting in an unequal challenge here.
We are for principles, rule of law, equal citizenship, accountability, universal suffrage and separation of power. These are the indisputable principles, but let the people find their model. Don't come with your model to impose it onto them.
Okay.
Professor Ramadan is doing is the reverse side of what I hear a lot of conservative right-wing politicians doing now, which is effectively we just have to give them a lot of time. You tend now to hear the thing about people needing their own reformation, Islam being 600 years younger and all this kind of thing. I recently heard exactly the same thing as Professor Ramadan was saying, uttered by Norman Lamont, Baron Lamont of Tehran. He said exactly the same thing. But they need time. Tariq Ramadan said it's going to take time. How much time, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think we have time. And I would beg Professor Ramadan to go around the Muslim world explaining to women in Saudi Arabia they can look forward to freedom in 600 years' time. And that gay people in the Muslim world can look forward to having their first meaningful relationship 6 centuries from now.
So send the troops, please. Send the troops in Saudi Arabia, not in Iraq and not in Iran. In Saudi Arabia, do it and promote them. Promote Saudi Arabia, not Iraq.
Up to the Saudi regime.
Why are you not asking the troops to go to Saudi Arabia because of geostrategic?
Just one moment, please. Look, it's not about Islam, as the lady said so rightly at the back. What about Buddhism? What about Confucianism? All these other systems. I think the key one has to bear in mind is, for all that we have to be proud of the West, I believe it is in the arrogant and forceful association of the superiority of Western values that we have consistently undermined all that is most precious in our civilization.
Why we compare them with Muslim values, I agree with the lady. We could have focused on Buddhist values. We could have focused on any other types of values. The reason why it kept on coming back to it is, as you know, because this is the matter of our time. And it is not hard at the moment to notice the calls for the different type of societies that people want to create. And that there is a clear difference. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, when you vote for the right side tonight, you make this clear. There is a difference between the Western states, which practice their own values that we sometimes mistakenly call Western values. And yes, we should call them liberal values. And yes, we should call them universal values, but we identify them with the West because they came from the West, because they were nurtured in the West. If we do not assert our values, ladies and gentlemen, who will? Who will assert them across the Muslim world? Who are the reformers in the Muslim world going to look to when they want to see and desperately need separation of church and state? If we do not say, if we do not assert and state that we believe that is the best way to live, who is going to do it in the Muslim world? Who is going to feel emboldened to do it? And Urshid Manji said a few weeks ago when she was in London, said this: if you give up on us, if you give up on yourselves, people like me are dead. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we should take that call seriously. To assert the superiority of Western values is to state the obvious. It's to have faith in ourselves, and it's to have faith in other people. Thank you.
Now, I mean, if you have been on my channel and if you've been on Douglas Morris's channel, you would know that this has been an ongoing debate. It's been an ongoing, just exchange of opinion and options. And I mean, it's been going for a whole long time. And one time I remember in the video, I said that the mere fact that we are having a debate, like the mere fact that I even have this video to watch and share my opinion on, really speaks a lot. I mean, that should speak a lot. That should speak volume. Okay. Now, if I'm just going to ask, because watching this video again just really opened my mind to something based on personal experience, right? Based on like personal experience and people I know personally who move from like a Christian countries to like an Islamic country, right? One thing that they do say is that they admire the culture, not necessarily like the religion. But I made a statement one time in a video of mine where I said that culture is slowly, or would I even say rapidly, slipping into religion, and they're trying to mix it together as one, even though that could also lead to something very confusing. So in as much as like there's like some cultural similarities with their religion, these people in my life actually want to experience the culture of these like Middle Western countries, right? And that is what is taking them there, plus the beauty and every other thing they want to explore. So if these Muslim immigrants are coming to the United Kingdom or any other European country and they absolutely detest and think so lowly of the culture, why then are you there? Like, why then would you even initiate moving over there? Because I'm not going to say it, like, it's not possible that nobody knows the culture of like the European country. Like, everyone knows the culture of the Western, and it's either you like it or you don't. It's either you want to be a part of it or you do not want to. And I mean, the country is very liberal. The continent in general is very liberal, very accepting, and definitely these are like traits that have perks and that has downside. And the whole essence of this debate is definitely like a glaring example of the downside to the liberality that the European country has. And I know that it can be very attractive because people would, not a lot of people like the idea of living under rules and regulations. If you check, to be honest, not a lot of people want to be held under a law or under restrictions of any sort. So definitely seeing a country that has lesser of that. I'm not saying the UK doesn't have laws set in place, but there are more freedom in these European countries than like any other place, right? So definitely that is something enticing that I would definitely want to bring people in. But I just feel like if you make that huge decision to leave your home country, to leave everything you've known, you should be very ready and determined to be open-minded and to accept, to be honest. And, you know, like the title asks, which Islamic state would you love to live in? I mean, I'm not one for generalization, okay? And in that sense, I've actually never like outrightly, or would I even say I've not physically experienced the Western states, Western countries, right? But I mean, we do have Islamic states in my country, right? We have Islamic states in my country, and to a very small, portion of my life, I've gotten to experience it. And I would say, in as much as like it's really different, it's not something I would love to subject my everyday life to. The fact that it's something different was actually quite interesting. So in as much as like I haven't seen myself thinking to move to like a solely completely Islamic country, there are a couple of Islamic countries I would really, really love to visit and, wouldn't mind to live in some months, irrespective of how restrictive it can be, especially for a woman and most especially for a Black woman. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But nonetheless, I'm throwing out the question. I mean, I do have my countries in mind that I wouldn't mind, to stay for a couple. But yeah, I would love to know, what Islamic states would you not mind to stay for a couple of months at least? Let's not say moving, because that's like, a very big decision. So let's just say for a couple of months, okay? Let me throw that out there as just, a fun part of this video. So please do share all of that down in the comment box. And please do tell me what you think about, all those demands from this Muslim immigrants and just the stories behind everything and how it's seeming like they're forgetting, their reality that they actually left, the reality they actually ran away from. Because yeah. So let's talk about that down in the comment box, okay? I'm really gonna appreciate it. But we have come to the very end of today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really hope you guys had a good one, and I'm waiting on y'all's comments down in the comment section. So yeah, let's keep on staying safe and healthy. Do not hesitate to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel for more amazing content as such. So bye.